What do Muslims do that's sinful? What do Jewish people do that's sinful? We've never done that before. We're concerned with what are sins in our society, the Christian church, the Catholic church specifically. What does the catechism say? What does your preacher say?
Okay,
and
that's great. But repeat my argument back to me.
Hold on.
You're arguing against a straw man.
No. You've traveled like 20,000 different.
I haven't traveled anywhere. Repeat my argument back to me.
Say it, it's true.
And then argue against that. Right. I just want a good faith debate. Tell me my argument. Then tell me my argument.
I can talk just as much as you want, okay? I'm just trying to lay
Tell me my argument, Destiny.
It sounds like your argument was it is impossible for a person to have one set of ethics and not condemn another person in society.
No, that's not my argument. My argument.
Hold on. I'm going to leave. Alex, make him shut the fuck up for 2 seconds.
Andrew Wilson causes a Destiny meltdown. Live on air. Andrew Wilson causes a Destiny meltdown during a heated debate. Andrew Wilson and this other girl, Grace, were debating Destiny and this other girl, Erudite. And the girl, Erudite, argues that it's okay to have two conflicting moral systems, which Andrew Wilson correctly points out is ridiculous. And Destiny tries to step in and save the day, but he fails and completely loses it, which was absolutely beautiful to see. But why take my word for it? Just watch the clip for yourselves.
I think is going to add to this conversation. As Kyla or Destiny, they think Len and the Plug's relationship with Adam 22 is an example of healthy or unhealthy on first glance.
They seem happy to me, but this is an extraordinary relationship. You're talking about two people that do pornography professionally and live their whole lives in the public eye. Like, that's a rough one. That relationship, that's always, even a perfectly monogamous Christian couple living that public a relationship is going to be really difficult. So I don't know. It's a hard one. I don't know either of them well enough to say.
What about you, Kyla?
I think that's a pretty good interpretation. In general, would that be something I recommend for the average couple? No, but most couples aren't like famous podcasters who do porn professionally. So it's not something in general that would generalize well to the public. But yeah, I would say in general, if that was a non-professional porn, that might be an issue, but
you don't feel though that
Kyla, I gotta ask you.
Oh, okay. Andrew.
Within your Christian ethics, is it okay that they do public pornography?
Yes. Well, are they Christian?
I'm asking you if you think it's ethical.
Are they Christian? Yeah, I'm asking you. I don't know. Maybe I don't know something about Adam.
I don't think so.
Oh, then I don't give a fuck what religious people do. I don't require them to follow my precepts.
Okay, so just so there's no
I try to follow the book.
So
so I think they're talking about Adam 22 and his wife who make corn cinema together. Adam 22 has become a lolcow because of this, because he allows his wife to engage intimately with other men. So he's gotten ripped into about that by other people, made fun of a lot by other people because of this. So I think this is what they're debating.
So there's no criteria for you, or can you say that that's immoral?
Religious predilections.
Yeah, can you say that that's immoral or not?
Yeah, this is the problem.
No, it's not immoral.
Yeah,
not for that. No.
Is anything immoral? Hang on, Kyla. Is
you?
Anything immoral?
I'm not.
Is anything immoral, Kyla? Shut up, Grace. I haven't talked at all. Kyla, is anything immoral? Anything? What? What is immoral? What?
Things that utilitarian-wise, everyone would agree are.
So your entire ethical system has nothing to do with Christianity. It has to do with secular utilitarian ethics.
You already admitted that God is a utilitarian, so you agree.
It's never happened.
You did.
Tell me when.
In this conversation.
When? You just made that up in your crazy brain.
It's all about extents and stretches, and that as things change over time, when it comes to
that, this never occurred. Literally never occurred. You just made the whole thing up in your brain. I've never said anything about God being a utilitarian. That's one. Two, I want to ask you, are you saying that you don't derive your morality from Christianity? You derive it from utilitarian ethics, secular ethics?
For society, for other people, for the most part, for myself, I believe that Christians committing sin is immoral. But if you're not a Christian,
then you can't do any wrong
things. No. Do you want me to answer?
Yes.
Keep building your
I do want you to answer.
Do you want to listen? Okay.
I'm listening.
Do you want me to use my daddy voice for you too?
Yeah. Use whatever voice you think that can answer the question.
The daddy voice. So the answer to the question
is more butch.
Yes, it is more butch. That's true. Good job. Basically, what I said is that drugs are fine, sex is fine. In the case of society, I tend to use a utilitarian frame model because for Christians, there's a different code of ethics that they're required to live by than non-religious people. This is very standard in most religious practices. You don't put your religious predilections on other people. I'm not a fucking Muslim. I don't need to have a political system based out of my religion.
Fair enough. So from your perspective, though, as a Christian, is what they're doing immoral?
They're not Christian.
That's not my question. From your perspective as a Christian, following the ethics you do, you still know what's moral and immoral, informed by your Christianity. Is what they're doing immoral?
No, of course not.
It's not. It's not immoral that they're porn stars on the internet.
It's not
From a Christian. What the fuck?
For Christians,
I've never heard
it is
anything
immoral.
that insane, literally, in my whole life ever.
Okay, as long as you say it loud enough. Do you want to say that you've won too, Andrew?
I have one. That was the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Man, these people that Andrew debates, like Andrew is a good debater, but these people, like, do they not realize how stupid they sound when they say these things? From a Christian perspective, making corn movies isn't immoral? Like, what the heck?
If an atheist kills somebody, does that make it not immoral because they
It's
don't
not
believe in
immoral
God?
from a Christian, from her
I would say
standpoint.
that atheists killing people is immoral. I already said that they're
From what?
Yeah,
From
but they don't believe in the Christian.
Wait.
What are you talking
hold on.
about?
I
What?
slow down for the class. You guys can keep up. I believe in you. I do. I have already explicitly said there are certain presets that I would say for Christians are different than for secular people. There are obviously things that secular people can do.
Which is
that
why
are
we're asking
immoral.
from your purview, from
Right.
your
My
ethical
purview.
system, from your from
my
not so
ethical system.
erudite's ethical system.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say that if you're not a Christian, I wouldn't say that you're doing something immoral by doing Christian sin because you're not a Christian.
So why is murder
Basically,
wrong?
Hug and Adam.
So why is murder wrong from a secular standpoint then, erudite?
Because, okay, if you want to go into utilitarianism, because in
Yeah.
a society where murder is okay, it leads to harm for everyone. It seems to lead to a society that is worse if everyone thinks that murder is just okay. A society is better and reduces harm when you prohibit murder and you punish it.
So you hold two separate ethical value structures, one for yourself and one for society. How do you know which one is wrong?
Because Gentiles don't have to appeal to Christian morals.
Okay, I'm not asking what Gentiles must do. I'm asking you as a Christian, how do you know Gentiles are incorrect and immoral if they're doing these things? How do you know that? What would inform you? What would inform? Why would why would you? And why would utilitarianism? Why would utilitarianism be correct?
Sure, we can get into the fundamental axiom. My fundamental axiom.
You can't hold two contrary sets of beliefs. That's insane.
They aren't contrary sets.
They
of
are
beliefs.
contrary
They
sets
solely
of
will
beliefs.
represent each other. They're not contrary. I understand that you can't keep up and comprehend this, but they are not complementary.
Does
In
utilitarian?
the case-
If they're not contrary, then answer
the
this
case of
question.
religious
Answer this
people-
question if they're not contrary. From
No,
a
actually,
utilitarian
I'm going to continue answering
standpoint,
the previous question
from
rather than just
utilitarian
Rolodexing out
standpoint,
questions.
from
I will
util-
just keep talking.
I just want to finish this
till-
point and I'll
I
let
will
you
just
talk.
Keep talking. I'm not going to.
I
because
just
still
want you to
haven't
answer
answered your
one
previous
question, and then I'll let you
No,
talk as
I'm
much
going
you
to
want.
answer your previous
Okay,
question.
fine. I
Then
won't
you can
forget.
ask future-
I'm not going to
future
forget, but go ahead.
questions.
I won't forget.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My Christian ethics
Mm-hmm.
are over my national contractual ethics for myself. However, part of my Christian ethics personally is to not hold secular people to my Christian ethics because they are not Christian. So if society imposed some sort of demand on me that was against my Christian ethics, I would disobey society. If society made it a law that I had to do something that I thought was heretical to my faith, I would disobey society. Do you understand this?
So let me ask you.
Tracking.
Okay, got it. So let me ask you this question: can secular ethics and your ethics, at the same exact time, if secular ethics claims that pornography is moral, and your ethics claim that pornography is immoral, are those compatible ethical systems?
I don't. First of all, you're assuming a bunch about my claims about ethics around pornography.
Just answer my question.
Well, I can't answer your
You
question.
can't answer it because you know what the answer
hold
is.
on. I'm not letting you do this.
Answer the
reason I
fucking
can't
question.
Answer it. No, the reason I can't.
If you're enjoying so far, smash that like button. Sound off in the comments below with your thoughts so far. I love it when Andrew backs these people into a corner with a question that they know they can't answer. So they don't answer because they know they can't.
Answer this question specifically, Andrew, is because you're doing what you always do in every debate.
Yeah, winning.
Bad faith.
Winning.
You're begging the question.
Yeah, everybody who wins the debate's bad faith. I know.
Are you going to let me talk, Andrew? Or you're just going to keep
answer the question.
I'm winning until
Wait,
people
stop. Let's let Kyle finish, and then you.
Unbelievable.
These two things are compatible because it is fine for me, for thee, and not for me. That is compatible. Different people can have different ethical systems within utilitarian. They can have different things that are okay and not okay and still work within my framework. I would say it is okay for thee, but not for me. For example, one thing that's not okay for me is like watching a whole bunch of like true crime and shit like that because it makes me super distrustful of other people. I would say in general.
But you're talking about preference,
Oh,
not morality.
No. Let her finish, and then it's Andrew's turn to respond, and then shoot. Okay, go ahead.
In the case of all sorts of stuff, as you would probably agree, even you said it here. You already said this, Andrew. You said in the case of, for example, Christians, you can chain smoke because it doesn't make you go crazy. But if you had a psychotic break and it led to you doing a whole bunch of bad stuff, that would be bad for them. So that's you saying, oh, it's fine for me, but not for thee in this case. I'm just doing the inverse of saying there are some things that I think are fine for other people that are not okay for me.
So
a couple doing corn is fine for other people? No, it is clearly not fine for other people. It is not healthy to do. It is not something that's good to do.
Together.
Now I'm going to ask you this question again. Only one set of these moral preferences can be true. Only one of them can be true. So are your Christian ethics true, or are utilitarianism, if utilitarianism conflicts with your Christian ethics, knowing only one can be true by the laws of logic, which one's true?
I reject your premise and the way that you
well, okay, then to show me the contradiction from which you reject my premise.
You're begging the question by again saying
There's
that
no question begging.
Your question that you're begging is saying
that's
how
not question begging, you idiot.
Yes, it is.
Well, tell me what question begging is. You don't even know. Tell me what it is.
You tell me.
Wait, hang on. Let's let her
Oh, I
respond.
tell you what it is. You accused me of it. Tell me what it is. Tell me what question begging is. Tell me what it is.
Wait, just let her respond.
Yeah, she's not going to answer that question either. Tell me what it is.
Bro, you do
You're
this
not gonna
thing
do it.
in every fucking
Not
thing
gonna do
where
it.
you ask 60,000 questions. You pivot and weasel away from
No,
everything.
I just ask you
Notice how
straight questions you
weaseled
won't
away?
answer.
Notice how you weaseled away from the conversation about your
Happy to have that
secret
conversation too, but you accused me of
You
question
asked
begging.
90 Are you going to let me answer?
You
Keep
accused me.
interrupting me and building your narrative. Are you going to keep interrupting
You
me? and
can't
building your
accuse me of a
narrative?
fallacy, then not tell me the
Alex, I have an
fallacy.
actual relationship.
Tell me
Okay,
the
I think-
fallacy.
Okay, guys, wait, hang on.
Okay. Can I take a stab at this? Okay.
Okay.
You can absolutely hold two different quote unquote set of ethics. You're not holding contrary sets of ethics, though. What you can understand is you can have a system of morals that stands in contradiction to the law. For instance, a Catholic might believe that it's immoral to consume pornography, but that doesn't necessarily mean that a Catholic would prescribe that it changes the law in the country that they're in, right? In a way, you could read
That's
this
not
as
the
a
argument.
render unto Caesar. What?
That's
Hold
not
on.
the
No. It doesn't seem to be the argument because you're conflating the law
It
and the
doesn't seem to
morality.
be
So when you
because
ask
it's not.
somebody, when you ask somebody, do you consider it a sin when somebody does something else? Generally, what is or isn't a sin is something that you're concerned with, and you're concerned with other people in your faith. Personally, I've never been in the business of, or seen other Christians at least, maybe for Muslims it's different, maybe for Jews it's different, maybe for other people it's different, is trying to evaluate. I'd never in my life, I took 4 years of fucking Catholic high school, 8 years of Catholic grade school. Never once did we have a class we went through, what do Muslims do that's sinful? What do Jewish people do that's sinful? We've never done that before. We're concerned with what are sins in our society, the Christian church, the Catholic church specifically. What does the catechism say? What does your preacher say?
Okay,
And then
that's
where
great,
it starts
but
and
repeat
stops.
my
So the
argument
question-
back
hold
to
on.
me.
Let me hold on.
You're arguing against a straw man.
No. You've traveled like 20,000 different.
I haven't
acres.
traveled anywhere. Repeat my argument back to me.
Say it, it's true.
And then
Okay,
argue
okay,
against
okay,
that.
right,
I just want a good faith debate. Tell me my
I'm trying
argument.
to answer.
Then
You don't
tell
wanna
me
make
my
you're trying to see
argument.
questions. I can talk just as much as you want, okay? I'm just trying to lay
Tell
down
me my
basic-
argument, Destiny.
It sounds like your argument was it is impossible for a person to have one set of ethics and not condemn another person in
No,
society.
that's
for
not
an
my
action that would be
argument.
con-
My argument.
Hold on,
Right.
hold on. I'm gonna leave. Alex, make him shut the fuck up for 2 seconds.
After only a minute with going back and forth with Destiny, Destiny is already spurging out, and it's great to see. I love it. This is already one of my favorite debates because I always love to see a good Destiny spurg out because F Destiny.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Or else he's
Let me
going to
finish.
run.
Okay, this was your argument, unless you're having an episode, in which case, go get some antipsychotics. Your argument, because your questions to Kyla were, how can you believe that this thing is okay in society, but you personally don't believe it? It seems to be a contradiction that you're saying society can have one set of ethics. Shut the fuck up, you retarded
Then
fuck.
fucking tell me my argument, you dumb blue-haired gremlin. What are you going to do, run? What are you going to do, run?
I'm gonna mute all of you guys. Okay, let's just go one at a time. Let's let Destiny finish his point, then you can respond to it, Andrew.
Keep Andrew muted because he cannot
I mean,
stop doing
Jesus
bad
Christ, I can't even finish a single fucking statement. Okay,
go ahead. Go ahead,
so
Destiny.
Andrew's line of questioning was trying to expose that Kyla had an inability to condemn anybody for sin, because it seemed like she held the double standard that society could have one set of ethics and she can have a personal one, which is why Andrew was asking questions like, oh, well, do you think that this lifestyle is sinful? And then Kyla would say, well, no, I don't think so for me. Well, what about for other people? I don't judge Christians. That's why he went down the line of questioning of, is murder wrong? Is anything wrong? Because it seems like under your current system of whatever you do, you're unable to fundamentally say any particular action is wrong. And then Kyla tried to say something about utilitarianism, and he said, well, how do you hold contrary sets of ethics? That was what the entire argument was. In my opinion, I think the reason why you're running into such a difficult to answer question here is because you're conflating what is the law or what is legally permissible with what is ethical. No, the Andrew's going to say, no, I was talking about ethics the whole time, but that's not truly what we're talking about, because the idea, now this is where I go into my personal opinion, the idea that as a Christian,
he's going to speed talk, but I'm not going to let him get off the hook.
For not following your Christian ethics, that's just a
he can
very
spur
bizarre
talk
statement
all he
to me.
wants,
In my
but
personal
watch.
opinion,
One question.
from how I learned Christianity or Catholicism, usually when you're criticizing other people's
this diversion
inability
doesn't
to hold
work
to
with
the Ten
me.
Commandments, the
I've
Beatitudes,
seen this like 100
whatever set of
times.
ethics we're talking about in terms of Christianity,
100
you're saying
times.
things like God
I'm gonna
commands
pin him
us to do
down
this.
right away.
God commands you to do that. These are the Beatitudes. These are the commandments. These are what the priest says. Blah 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 blah. So usually compelling somebody within a faith. So it's a very difficult question to ask from a religious point of view, is how do you condemn somebody else's morals that is outside of your faith? All you can do at that point is appeal to the law. And your ethics probably don't have to be exactly matching with what the law is. For example, in the case of smoking cigarettes or pornography. That's my thing. Okay,
great. Now, to address my argument was really simple. I asked Kyla a simple question. I asked you the same thing.
Andrew.
What just happened?
So hang on. Right? Because Alex muted me again. But that wasn't my question. It wasn't my argument, which is why I asked you in good faith to repeat my argument back to me. That way we could have the productive conversation. But what I asked specifically is, can you hold two different sets of moral values, and both of them can be true at the same exact time if they conflict with each other? Meaning, if and Kyla's
stated what I just
stop
said.
because you didn't answer this question. You didn't answer. You spurred and talked a lot, but you actually didn't answer this question. The question is, if one conflicting moral value structure says that it's okay to murder and another one does not, and you're a Christian, say it's not okay to murder, and you're, let's say, a utilitarian who does, only one of those can be true. Yes or no, Destiny?
Yes.
Yes.
Problem,
thank you.
As I restated, the problem was you're not holding, when we talk about murder, right? We're not really interested societally in the moral condemnation of murder. What we're really looking for is what is the law.
Debate.
Christians don't compel people to not murder necessarily, societally speaking, another person, because it's what God commands.
Yes,
you say it's because this is illegal. When we're talking about what the law is going to be different than your particular moral thing. Now, there's going to be a lot in Christianity where your morals actually map onto the law. Your morals in Christianity are going to map onto things that are very similar to the law. For instance,
there could be overlap. I agree.
Don't steal.
There can be overlap. Yeah.
Don't steal and don't kill. Those are two things. However, it's also a Christian commandment not to be adulterous. That's actually not something that's illegal in the United States.
That's right.
Now, just because it's not illegal in the U.S. and just because it is illegal in the Christian world, is that a conflicting set of morals or ethics? No.
How is it not? Tell me how it's not.
Because in society, what we're talking about...
In what world is it not a conflict?
I don't know. I can't.
No, you can, and I am. I've been more good faith in this debate than either of you.
I'm going to go out drinking tonight. I need some friends here.
All right. Oh, yeah, I know. No, answer my question, Destiny. How's it not a conflict?
I just told you, because what you're analyzing societally is the law. We don't have a societal set of ethics that we compel people to follow using some kind of like third-party punishment. We don't do that.
That still wouldn't mean that there's no performative conscience.
You've already said this.
Stop.
You've already said this.
Stop, Erudite. Stop,
Erudite.
Erudite. I know you want to spurg, but here's the thing. That really has nothing to do with whether or not these are contradictory or contradictions to each other. The ethical systems, whether or not secularism legalizes X behavior and Christians don't believe it, only one of those systems can be true. So when I ask you, if you're a Christian, do you follow Christian ethics? And you say yes, This means that you follow this format for an ethical system based on your religion. What secularists believe is going to necessarily, if it conflicts with that, be immoral. Tell me how that's not true.
Because a secular society the society itself is not generally in the business. The state is not in the business of what's determining what is moral or immoral.
I'm asked a truth claim.
Legality.
Truth.
The state is agnostic on the truth. It doesn't make a statement about the truth there.
That has nothing to do with anything, Destiny. It doesn't matter if the state's agnostic.
Hold on. Wait. You didn't respond to what I said. You just said
because it's irrelevant. It's erroneous. It doesn't mean anything. It has nothing to do with my question.
Your question is irrelevant.
You're asking.
How's my question irrelevant? It's the only question.
You're trying to ask. You're trying to pretend that there are two conflicting set of ethics. The reason why you're confused is because there's not. There's a set of ethics, and then there's the law. These things will conflict sometimes. It's not illegal to
the law is a reflection
but hang on,
of
but
ethics.
Destiny,
It's a
Grace, let me finish. Grace, let me finish. But Destiny, you said only one. Grace, shut up. You said only one can be true. That's what you. Yeah, no, you said that, Destiny.
I said if there are two conflicting sets of ethics, generally one can be true.
Only one can be true.
It's not a set of ethics. It's the law.
No, it's not just the law. Law doesn't even necessarily have anything to do with ethics.
I'm sorry. In society, where does the government tell me? Where are my list of things that are moral or immoral in the United States of America?
They actually do. They draw on this very heavily, especially from the Bible, which the axiomatic for the entire United States Constitution.
When you finish this ramble, I'm going to restate the same question. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, the entire axiomatic principle of the United States Constitution is that all men are created equal. That is, well, the Declaration of Independence, right? That's axiomatic. So the thing is that if you're gonna state these things and you're gonna say, hey, listen, if you have two conflicting sets of values, they can both have overlap. I would agree, but only one can be true is my point. And so if only one is true and you're a Christian, how can you follow the other one and say it's not immoral? That makes no sense, bro.
Okay, I'm restating the question. Where do I find my set of ethics from the United States government?
The Declaration of Independence.
No, that's not where. No, Grace. No, Grace.
No. That's where.
You just ruined it, Grace. You just ruined it.
That's where we get our ethics from. We hold.
So all this to defend why it's okay for a couple to do corn together. That's all this was about, and how hypocritical it is that girl, erudite or whatever, says that. Oh yeah, listen, it's immoral for me as a Christian, but not immoral for them because they're secular or what have you. And so then Andrew is saying, well, wait a minute, but in your purview is what they're doing immoral then? So then Andrew's like, well, listen, you're holding two sets of conflicting values because you're holding the Christian values that say it's immoral and then the secular ones that say pretty much it's not immoral. So you're holding two conflicting views. And she doesn't do that with it when it comes to unaliving people, when it comes to stealing, like, oh, that's pretty set. But when it comes to corn, oh, well, that's immoral to me, but not for thee. Like, all these people that Andrew debates with, it's like they don't realize that how indoctrinated by society and brainwashed they are by society. Like, there's another debate I saw that I want to cover, and it's like you see, like, when he asks them these questions about, like, well, why is it okay for this then? Well, why is it not okay for that then? And it's like they can't really articulate. They just know it's wrong. Like when he brings up the, doing the horizontal mambo with an unalived person, like they know it's wrong, but they don't know why it's wrong. They just know they've been taught that it's wrong. But meanwhile, say doing, if you're a married couple and you're doing corn together, well, that's not wrong. Like it's wrong to me as a Christian, but you know what? If that's what they want to do, I'm not going to yuck their yum. And it's like, well, why though? And they don't really know. Like they don't know. They just know that society says that they have the freedom to do so, and therefore it's okay. And so I like it when Andrew like presses these people and actually makes people like think about why, like presses these people and exposes why. I know me as a viewer, it gets me to really rethink a lot of the things that I deem okay or deem not okay. And I think Andrew does a really good job of arguing these points. What do you think about how Andrew did today? And did you enjoy seeing Destiny spurg and flip out? Because I know I did. Sound off in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. And if you did enjoy this video, if you like seeing Andrew Wilson dominate in debates, I have a whole playlist for you on the screen that you could binge on, as well as a whole bunch of other content that I think you'll enjoy.